It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
Harrison Butker set to get us started. It's two AFC powerhouses, the Chiefs and Ravens, underway in Baltimore. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
And this one's incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
Here's Jackson. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Jackson to throw. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They're looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
The KC offense set to go, led as all. Gunslinger, a former MVP in this league, it's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. To about the 35, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he's up to the 43. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Flushed out right. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Throwing now is Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now Mahomes gives to Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And he is caught. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Jackson now. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Now it's Jackson. And this throw will be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
No, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes eluding. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he rifles one incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Now Jackson rolling to his left. And this is going to be pulled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is into the Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens go up. Touchdowns. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Jackson. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Down the left sideline. Mark Andrews. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone. Tucker now to add the point after. And it is now 21-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. KC's offense ready to take over. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Now it's Jackson. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Oh, trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. That ball caught. It's Rice. He's still on his feet. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Rashee Rice, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. To throw is Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone, throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground. So and he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
At the 24-yard line.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with a hope. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9. Mahomes now to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by... And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll be out right at the 35. Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore. He'll look to throw. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. And Jackson throwing once more. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
That's good for a Baltimore Raven.
Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are pouring it on. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
That'll be caught. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A short throw caught by Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Now it's Jackson. And he fires one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. On the move to his left. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this third quarter. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Pacheco gets it again on second down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. From the gun, it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Jackson now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On the slant, DeAndre Hopkins. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Jackson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Jackson will throw again. Steps away. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Jackson from the shotgun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense.
And now here's another interception. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get... And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Mahomes. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Out to his left. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. He can only get a yard after all that. It's second down. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
To throw again is Jackson. Likely hauls in the quick slant. And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarter.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker now to add the point after. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here, and our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and... Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the play? And my goodness, another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. After the interception, here's Jackson. And now here's another interception. And the Chiefs are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gault. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.